Hey, welcome back everybody. Sign here again with another episode of my Additional Creatures 2 Creature Spotlights. And this episode, Andrewsarchus. So, Andrewsarchus, fun little figure thing here, is nobody really knows what it looks like. The only thing found is the top part of the skull. And they are, they're a really easy tame, assuming you're a high enough level. You have to be level 45 in order to tame them. They're a passive tame. And they are huge. Okay, can you please just, not do that? Thank you. They are massive. And basically the only thing known about them is just the skull. Not even the lower jaw was included. Just the head, right? So everything beyond that is kind of conjecture based off of other things that were related and so on and so forth. But considering the skull was close to a meter long, yeah, it's a huge animal. And they're pretty omnipresent along the beaches of almost any map that you play. They don't spawn an aberration. I do know that much. They're beachcombers, they're scavengers. They will get whatever they can. So if you kill something close to one, you're probably in for a bad time because it will come up and try to steal your kill, and you'll probably get hit in the process. And yeah, that's not great. But once you can get to level 45, you can tame one of these things. And he wandered off right as I'm typing the command. Come on, come here, you. Thank you. Wonderful thing about these. A, you don't need a saddle. And B, they are the solution for early game gathering of resources. They do a pretty decent amount of damage. They can go through, you can gather berries and fiber seeds out of all that. They're actually pretty tanky when it comes to killing things. Pretty decent health for their size. They do a respectable amount of damage. Alright, come on. Yeah, it's not that respectable. Come on. This is, mind you, a rather high-level Andrewsarchus. So this is a level 360 tamed. So, they're not the greatest, but, they can dish it out. But they are definitely great for getting around. Pretty good sprint speed, and okay, that was a glitchy jump. Thank you for that. And they have one hell of a leap on them, which could be problematic because, well, the control issue, right? You jump, there's a good chance if you're not careful, you're going to go way too far. And one of the interesting things is they do gain the RG buff whenever they eat a corpse, which is very handy, especially in combat. Especially if you're being swarmed. If you can start taking things out, you can start getting that buff. And last in the fight even longer. Now they do have a saddle, which is one of the best saddles I've seen, actually. No, let's not give me 10 of those. All right. And this saddle is awesome looking. Granted, it's, you kind of phase through the saddle a bit. Here, let me go into K mode here. Yeah, your legs phase through the saddle and everything like that. But look at the work done in this saddle. This is it's quite awesome. I love it. But definitely a custom saddle made up for this creature. And you don't need the saddle to ride them, but in case maybe, you're definitely going to want the saddle because, well, the extra armor. Now, basically, these guys, they're a two-trick pony, really. And they can get around good, and they can harvest bushes. They're mediocre at fighting. Their attacks, they have a left-click bite. They have a right-click claw slash, which does less damage. It is kind of handy, though, whenever you're, fighting in the bushes or whatever, because you're not going to harvest everything around you. And seeing as these guys gather fiber as well as berries, then you can end up with quite a bit in your inventory and get bogged down in combat if you're not careful. And they also have a roar on sea. Very impressive animation, actually. Did I just I think, yeah, I kind of spooked that piranha away. But main thing is, drains 200 torpor. Inflicts the frightened debuff, which is kind of handy as well. And let's see, other facts about this guy. Oh, well, we've got this elevator here still. Oop. Oop. And got a drag weight of about 500 and, well, it says 581 right now. 570. Downside, they are too heavy to go into boss fights. Well, actually the drag limit is 550, right? So if we pop that off you, it's exactly where you're at. So no guarantees, but technically you should be able to take these to boss fights. Honestly though, I don't think I would bother. They're great transportation mounts. They're great at harvesting. They can do a little more damage than other mounts in the same category like horses, whatnot. But they don't have the torpor that horses have, you know, so on and so forth. But if you need to get around quickly, they're actually pretty good at it. Swim speed, not great. So they live on the beach. They never learned how to swim. But they are, I mean, they're very easy to tame. You can feed them meat. You can feed them berries. They pretty much eat anything. And it's just a passive tame. Just takes a little while. Not a huge problem. Like I said, just don't get between them and a corpse and everything will be fine. And, I mean, they look like a giant puppy. So, I mean, where's the downside of that? But thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And until the next one, Signing out. Have fun.